Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to have a guest on my live this afternoon who is joining Instagram. Yay, technology. It worked for the first time in like forever.
I see you always going Instagram struggles.
Oh my gosh, Instagram is so tricky, but looks like it's working. So it's all about the demographics to get it's who's on the other end trying to work Instagram. And so some of my friends in my age group are kind of like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So I understand. Anyway, I'm really happy to have Sonja Tutwiler, owner of RawPets, which is a Tampa-based one-stop holistic pet food distributor with products that deliver the best optimal nutritional benefits. Sonja, thanks for joining me today.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm a huge fan of yours. You've been a very big mentor to me through this.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I hope that I am getting a lot of information out there that is helping people. That's kind of the whole goal. So Sonja has a pet store, and they do door-to-door delivery for the whole state of Florida. And now, are also starting to ship. Come here. Sorry. Our children are also starting to ship to other states, which is really cool. And I mean, I have a warehouse. We ship out a lot of products. I can honestly say the last thing I ever want to be shipping is frozen raw pet food, because that's a nightmare. I mean, I know that when I order food, sometimes I get it like 3 weeks after it was shipped. Not the fault of the shipper, the fault of the carrier.
Yep. Makes it tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I had ordered about $1,000 worth of raw pieces and parts from one company that I really like, and they sent it out right on time, no problem. Sent me tracking, all that stuff, and I think it got shipped out on a Wednesday, so it should have been on my doorstep on Friday. And Friday night, it never arrived, and I got a phone call from somebody at FedEx. And this guy was so nice. He said, "Well, I've got this box here, and it says perishable." And this was in the middle of the summer. It was put on their truck first thing in the morning out of Raleigh, drove around in the truck for 12 hours all day, and the guy never delivered it and took it back to the FedEx hub. And so the guy saw it sitting in the warehouse, and he said, "Do you want me to put this in our freezer?" Now, I didn't know FedEx had a freezer.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, please, would you put it in the freezer?" And then he said, "And you can come over on Saturday morning and pick it up if you want." And I said, "I would much rather do that than have it sit on your truck for another 3 days." So, I mean, there are some good people who really care, but it is amazing that a driver can see a frozen box in their truck in the summer, drive around with it for 12 hours and take it back to the hub.
I'm really surprised you're very lucky to find
Oh
because,
my gosh.
because I shipped some to somebody in Nebraska recently, and it was over a month it took to get there.
Well, I know that
So,
the folks at Viva Raw, they posted something on their social media, and it was the tracking for a package that left North Carolina with frozen pet food, and it was going, I think, to South Carolina.
Yeah.
It went to South Carolina by way of Los Angeles and like Portland, Oregon,
Yeah.
back to South Carolina, and it
Yeah.
took 3 weeks. Like, what are they thinking?
I don't know. I don't know. So that makes it really tricky for us. So I have to have a minimum of what we ship just so that if something like that happens, at least I know how we packed it. It's got a chance.
It's got a chance. Yeah, I'm thinking 3 weeks in the middle of summer, probably not much of a chance, but I don't care how much dry ice you use.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I commend you, because I would not want to do that. So we were chatting beforehand. About what you do. And I have to commend you for your goal and your mission, which is to provide brands that you believe in, for who they are and how they make their products and what goes into making those products. Because we have that same philosophy of, I only want to be promoting something if it's something that I would use for myself or for my own pets, that really is going to be beneficial and not be something that is going to harm any pets.
Right. Exactly.
So, So you're one of the gold sponsors for next week's Naturally Healthy Pets experience on the 25th in
Yeah.
Tampa, and we still have tickets available. And I believe the code is Tampa10 if you want to get a discount on your tickets for the. This
Yeah.
is the first Naturally Healthy Pets experience, and it's shaping up to be amazing.
Yes.
I was not familiar with your company, so I'm really glad that you're partnering up with us. But what made you want to be a part of the event?
Angela told me about this. I'm a big fan of Angela, as I am of yours, and she said, "Hey, you need to get in on this." Dr. Judy, I was like, "What?" So I got really excited because, as I said, you've been a mentor for me for a really long time. So I was really happy to hear, and then I had to pass your background test, so I was scared to do that. And I was like, "Okay, this is amazing." So I'm really honored to be part of your first stop of your tour. Uh, I think knowledge is power, right? So I'm thankful to you and everybody like you that puts information out there. The more we all learn, the more we all know. We're finally going to have healthier pets that hopefully live longer, right?
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, I saw the two crazy cat ladies had a post that was talking about the longest lived cats, and the longest lived cats live 38 years, and yet the average is actually, I think they said the average is 16 to 17, but I think it's more like 11 or 12, and that's really scary because we're getting half of what we should be getting, less than half.
Right, right. And that's what I've personally been battling that within my home. I've got 3 dogs, and my oldest one, I think 3 years ago, they told me to put him to sleep. And I was like, he's here, he's downstairs. He might make an appearance. So he's a little pointer, and he's had cancer twice, and he's had a severe heart condition, and he's rocking and he's rolling. So
Great. And
yeah.
that's what we'd like to hear. So, Pets is fairly new. How did you get started wanting to do this?
Uh, May will be May and June-ish. I call it like it's going to be my 4-year marker. I simply started because I was just looking for cleaner dog food for my dog because he had really bad skin allergies and at a young age. And they started with first, maybe he has lupus. And then he got vaccinated. And then when he got vaccinated, he was reactive. So I said, "Are you sure the vaccines didn't do some?" "No, we think he might have lupus. Get ready. He's not going to live a long time." And
Right.
then he came back with dermatitis at a certain point. And at the time, I was cooking for people. I was like a personal chef. I believe in like really clean food, organic, all the things, uh, And I said, "Well, what's in dog food?" So then I consulted with a holistic vet, and right away she's like, "Feed raw." I said, "That sounds creepy." Uh, so I started cooking, and within like a week or two, he was doing better. And then I watched that documentary that's been out for a long time. And when I watched that the next day, I went running to the pet store to get raw food, but I didn't know about the quality yet, right? So then when I found out what I was feeding, which was denatured meat, I about had a heart attack. And I said, "I don't want this for my dogs." And it was very expensive. So I started really searching for something clean for them. Well, I found Oma's Pride, and I ordered food from them, and I didn't really realize how much I ordered. And when it showed up, I said, "Okay, that bait freezer over there, the bait's going out of the bait freezer." So all this dog food I had to put away, and I was really excited about it because he was doing so much better, right? And then my older dog at the time, he got hit with cancer. He had anal gland carcinoma, and it was down in his lymph nodes and stuff. They gave him a very short time to live. It was like 3 to 4 months, and he lived 2.5 years pretty healthy. And it wasn't
Awesome.
until like that week before where he just started to go downhill. So I had 2 healthy dogs in the house. The third one is just, he's fine with whatever I give him. But from that point on, I said, well, I started going to pet stores, and I was supplying some pet stores with Oma's Pride at the time. And then I'm like, you know what? I really love this. And my friends were starting to catch on, and they were interested. And then I just hit the ground running. I would go to pet stores. I would go to different groups online trying to just get out there. And I was delivering by myself. I was lifting these boxes by myself, doing it all, talking to the customers, trying to help them. And then I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I want everything to be what I believe in. So I want it to be clean. I want the animals that they're eating to have treated correctly, before they were slaughtered. All this stuff was really important to me. So everything that I've picked that I carry has to fit that criteria, or I kind of just, stay away from it. I'm not opposed to bringing on new great things because, as we chatted before, we've got some people that work at RawPets that are, professionals at making your pup loaf recipe that we can now. So, I'm not opposed to, but I don't carry any kibble at all. It's just really all raw, freeze dried, and then natural herb supplements. That's kind of what RawPets is and how it began.
That's awesome. So where do you see your company headed? What's in the future?
I'm excited about the future because I didn't know, like I said, this was all something that happened out of nowhere. I mean, I was in social work at the time. I was cooking for people. I'm like, I would have never guessed if you would have asked me that I was going to be into dog food that I'd be here now. But it's funny because I love dogs more than anything, and cats, and I can't leave the cats out. Cats need raw food more than anything. So I see the raw industry growing really quickly. I believe that what makes RawPets a little bit different is, we're very supportive. I'm very nosy. So if somebody comes into the store and they're new, like we had a guy recently, he bought a box of organs. And he's like, I'm going to try raw. I'm like, I don't think you want to try with just organs. So, we get nosy, and everyone that works at RawPets, if I'm not there, everybody knows everything about the products, and support to me is the biggest thing, because I don't want somebody's journey to be scary. I don't want them to be afraid of raw. So we do a lot of hand holding. All of our customers have become very close to us. So I see the industry, I see this growing a little bit more since I have more access. I've come a little bit out of Florida now. So now I'm shipping to different states, and I've got, a lot of these different companies that are reaching out to me now saying, we kind of like what you're doing. Can you be our distributor? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think this year is going to be a good year. It keeps growing. It's like
this happens a lot with people I talk to. It's like, well, I needed something for me or for my pets, and I saw a need, and then it blossomed into here I am.
Yeah. I really loved feeding people, right? So now I'm like, actually, I prefer feeding the animals. It's very rewarding when people come back into the store and they're like, we tried everything. You know what I mean? We've tried everything and nothing has helped, and they're just thankful. And that's what like really keeps me going the most, Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have graciously offered a 20% discount code on your website. Do we have her website? RawPets.com. Okay.
Yep.
At 20% discount. The code is Dr. Judy Tampa. So would people just go to your website and put in that code to order?
Yep. When they go to checkout, it'll give them that automatically at their checkout.
And that's a very generous discount because the markup on food is not as big as other things.
I think I forgot to tell you this. What makes us a little bit different than everybody else. So I know what it's like to feed 3 large dogs. So I want the quality to be there, but I also want it to be affordable. So I've got a lot of customers that have 10, 13 dogs, big dogs, breeders, things like this. So we do a lot of wholesaling. We do a lot of bulk discounting. So, if you're like a regular customer and you order, I mean, we have people that order 1,000 pounds of food at a time. So we want it to be affordable for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a great resource to have.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today and talking about this. I really look forward to seeing you next week in Tampa and meeting you in person, talking more about what you do. And anybody who is still interested in going to the Tampa event, it's on March 25th at the Oldsmar Country Club in Oldsmar, Florida, which is just northwest of Tampa. And you can use the code TAMPA10 for
Yep.
10% off. Angela Artolino of CBD Dog Health and Myco Dog will be speaking. Susan Thixton from Truth About Pet Food will be speaking. She's amazing. We will have a Q&A panel with all of us. And for those with the VIP tickets, we have a cocktail party. All kinds of fun things planned, lots of giveaways, goodie bags, all kinds of fun stuff. So hopefully you'll join us. I guess they're saying we're signing off.
These dogs run our lives, right? Well, thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.